Hi everyone, my name's Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are making baby cards and we're going to use the Sale-a-bration stamp set called Any Occasion. So obviously you can use this stamp set for more than just baby cards. There's it's a boy, it's a girl, and so this is the girl card, and I'm actually not going to make this one. I'm just going to show this one, and then we're going to make a boy card in different colors but follow the same design. Then of course there's Mr. and Mrs., for you, hello, celebrate, thank you. In fact, two different kinds of thank yous, a happy birthday and a congratulations. And then there's all these cute little tiny stamps that you can hang on the banner to decorate your banners. For example, if you look at this It's a Girl card, you'll see these cute little tiny tassels that you can add to your banners. And then you can even build banners. They have this little sweet trio here to build banners. And so let's go ahead and get started. In addition to the Any Occasion Sale-a-bration stamp set that I'm using, I am also using Perpetual Birthday Calendar. This is found in our annual 2016-17 annual catalog. And the thing that I like the most about it is it has all these fill-ins for backgrounds, and then it also has this absolutely incredible swoosh. Now we're not actually using the swoosh today, but for this little boy card we're going to use the stars and we're going to use these leaves. Another nice thing about this particular stamp set is it has the months January through December, so you can actually recreate your very own personalized desk calendar using these for the months, and then you also can personalize it with lots of different little background stamps. So let's go ahead and get started. I do want to have you note that the card that we're using along with the envelope is actually our note cards. The note cards we're using today are in Whisper White, but Stampin' Up! Also carries a crumb cake set of note cards and envelopes. And you can create 20 different cards with that package. So let's go ahead and use these note cards and envelopes from Stampin' Up! Here's my envelope and here is my note card. So I'm just going to fold my note card in half. I'm going to use my bone folder to give that a nice press, and then we're just going to set this aside for a minute because we're going to talk about some of our other layers. Let's talk about the layer that we're going to stamp on first. This is created with Whisper White. It's 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. So let me go ahead and bring in my stamping pad, and then because we're going to be stamping off just a tiny bit with this pad, I'm going to grab a piece of scrap paper here. So here's my scrap paper, here's my Whisper White that I'm going to be stamping on. I'll remove this little tag, and then let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I did is I put the string onto a clear block, and I'm going to go ahead and ink that up with Pacific Point. So once I have that inked up, I'm going to go ahead and just bring this kind of from the top to, oh, I don't know, maybe about not quite an inch down from the left side. And it doesn't matter if your string doesn't quite touch the edges, because we can go ahead and we'll put a little flag or something on that edge. But we want to start with our congratulations banner. So now I'm going to ink up the congratulations also in Pacific Point. And again, I just have this on a clear block. These are our photopolymer stamps. And now I'm just going to try to get this stamped as accurately as I can. It's a little hard with the camera right directly in front of me, but we'll see how this turns out. So we'll press it in, lift it up, oh, and it's perfect. How lucky am I? So here's what it looks like so far. Then we're going to take a little tiny banner that is in that stamp set, and we're going to ink that up with Cucumber Crush. We're going to put a little banner on this end and a little tiny banner. Whoops, I got quite a bit of ink on that. Let me go ahead and wipe that off. I just happen to have some wet wipes here, so let me wipe that off. And then I'm going to re-ink that just in case I accidentally wipe some of the ink off. You don't want to have a lot of ink on your block because, first of all, it's going to hinder your ability to see where you're placing it. So there we go. So now we have our congratulations stamped. Then we're going to go ahead and we're going to build a couple of banners. So I'm going to again take my wet wipe and I'm just going to wipe off this little string attachment here. And then I'm going to ink that up in Cucumber Crush. And I'm going to put a little banner right here at the top and then another one below our congratulations. Just set this in right like this. And then we're going to take that little piece that we can build on and inking that up in Cucumber Crush, I'm going to go ahead and start building onto this string banner. All right, so we have this done, and let's go ahead and put one more banner across that says "It's a Boy." I'm going to wipe off any ink that's on there. So we're going to take off the Cucumber Crush and we're going to ink it up with our Pacific Point. We're just going to set this pretty close here. And then we're going to say "It's a Boy." And again, inking that up with Pacific Point. And we're just going to set this right here in the middle. Now let's go ahead and add some more of those banners. So we're going to start with the Cucumber Crush, and we're going to put a little banner here on the very edge and a little banner over here on this edge. And then we're going to put a little banner next to our letter on this side and next to our letters on this side. And then we're going to take our wipe again. We're just going to wipe that off, and then we're going to ink it up in Pacific Point. I'm going to add another little banner right here in the middle and a little banner over here in the middle. And now that that's complete, we want to do a little stamping with some leaves and stars. So I'm going to ink up the leaves again in Cucumber Crush, and we're just going to stamp some leaves down here at the bottom. There we go. Now we're going to just add a layer of stars. We're going to do that with Pacific Point. And now to give this the perfect finishing touch, we are going to add a Sending Love wooden embellishment. This is found in our Occasions Catalog 2017, and we are going to use this bigger heart right here. To attach it, we're just going to add a glue dot. So let me just add a glue dot to the back of this heart, and we'll just set this in. How about right about here? Perfect. All right, now all we have to do is add our additional cardstock layers. So we will be layering this white layer onto a layer of Cucumber Crush. This is 2 7/8 by 4 3/8, and I'm going to use some snail. And now what we want to do is, because this is a 1/8 inch very skinny border, just take your finger and put it on each corner and then kind of hover it over the top and make sure the corners that you don't have your fingers on are nice and even. Then when you press it down, everything should fall into place. And now we can go ahead and add dimensionals to the back of this layer. And as you can see, I added 5 dimensionals, and we're going to be adding this to a Pacific Point layer that's 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So let me go ahead and add this layer to the top of this Pacific Point layer. And now it's just a matter of adding this card to the top of our note card. So to do that, we're just going to add some multi-purpose liquid glue, and I'm just going to make a nice square on the back, provided I can get the glue out. It seems like it's being a little stubborn. I haven't used it today, and that's why. All right, so now let me flip it over, and we can just wiggle this into place so that all 4 sides are nice and even. Now to finish this card, I think we're going to bring the stamping mat back in, and we are going to stamp just a little bit here along the bottom. And then we'll add a couple of stars at the top in Pacific Point. There we go. That looks like the perfect little boy card. So here is the front, and here is the inside. Now let me bring the little girl card back into the picture. And of course you could stamp your envelopes as well. So on the little girl card, to embellish it, we just added a few little rhinestones, and it's so cute. So here we go, two adorable little cards for a baby boy or a baby girl. And I hope this has inspired you today. If you'd like to place a product order and you have your order up to $50, you will get a Sale-a-bration item. So I encourage you to give any occasion a try. You will be able to make some of the sweetest cards, and very quickly too, especially when using our Stampin' Up! Note card set. Have a great day, and thank you so much for dropping by Stamping to Share.